Yo, what's up, Holocult? Welcome to the night shift. That means it's Wednesday,
It is Wednesday.
and the week is half over, which is good because working isn't fun.
Not at all. It is actually terrible.
It is terrible. uh, yeah. Hope everybody's having a good time. I see the chat's already popping off.
Going hard in the paint.
Already popping off. Did I see? Is it Autumn's birthday? See it in the chat. If so, happy birthday. If it's late, happy late birthday. If it's early, also
I
happy early.
agree. I agree. Happy birthday. In whatever format it is.
They are already demanding Kyle's OnlyFans.
It's
Which
work in progress.
That didn't take long at all.
Work in progress.
He has been up in his computer performance game. So get ready for that.
Trying to do some things,
If you're in here, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell, however YouTube does their stuff. We'll see how that goes. YouTube got mad at me last week and pulled our live shift or our night shift down. So I'm just gonna mind my P's and my Q's this week.
Yeah, we definitely know things that we can't speak on.
Don't want to make the powers that be cry.
Throw a dumb warning at us. Smack our hands.
Stupid.
Breaking the law.
Let's see if they block that. Stupid.
They will.
Kyle could outsource the OnlyFans to AI.
That's true. That's apparently pretty big these days. Kind of scary.
Oh, there was something I was going to say, but I forgot.
Well, we definitely can't tell you what we got warned for because then we'll get a strike this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Defeats the purpose.
It's pretty much exactly, if you listen to last week's show, probably exactly what you think would throw up a flag.
Yeah. Yeah. About 13 minutes in.
Yeah. If there's topics that throw up flags in the algorithm, this would probably be top of the list.
Yeah. Yeah. This is true. It sucks, but whatever.
Yeah. YouTube's the juggernaut, so you just kind of got to play their game.
Yay. Until we get hollow rich, and then we just say F the world.
And we create our own YouTube.
That's right. That's exactly what I'm working on right now.
I'm going to try something different next week, so mentally prepare yourself. I think we got the StreamYard go ahead to add TikTok to our live stream. So the chat should be full of just absolute trash chaos if it allows it to go through. So
if they get it figured out where Instagram can be more than an hour, I'll add Instagram. But at an hour, it just shuts Instagram off, so it's kind of pointless.
Yeah.
And I think with Instagram, you won't see the comments in our comment feed either.
That's weird.
Yeah. It's probably some type of software gap.
I don't know if TikTok's comments will come through either.
I don't know.
We'll check it because the TikTok, there's like 70,000 people on the TikTok, and I'm positive 95,000 of them have never listened to the show.
It's good.
So
pretty good odds.
Do that math.
Pretty good odds.
Do that math. Anyway, now that I'm done complaining about social media, we can move on to the show.
We can complain about life.
That's true too.
It is what it is.
I'm trying to think of any weird stuff that went on.
I've got a plethora of things to talk about.
We did have some people send us some UFO pics that were
pretty cool. I posted it on Instagram.
I haven't had a chance to post them on the other socials yet, but I sure will. I for sure will.
Yep, they're on Instagram. And they are weird. Definitely bizarre. Really good accidental catch because they didn't even mean to capture. They're just taking a picture of the clouds.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. Toby Keith died and they lost the helicopter. Was
Weird.
Toby Keith piloting the helicopter?
Probably.
Not alive as he once was. Ooh. They found the helicopter, but not the crew. What?
That's weird. That's definitely weird. I didn't
I
hear
didn't
about
hear about
that.
that.
Actually, I need to Google something real quick too before I bring it to the table. Because I heard some weird shit the other day.
I did hear something on the way to work this morning. Can't remember what YouTube channel I was listening to, but they were talking about
It is true. I'll be damned.
that the helicopter disappeared.
No, what I heard the other day.
Mm.
Interesting.
But I saw a thing about people with red hair. Gingers. Am I allowed to say gingers? Will YouTube ban me if I say gingers?
Yeah,
I guess we shall find
we'll try
out.
it. Yeah, we'll
But
try it. If we're not
they
here
were,
next week, then you know why.
yeah.
Because one strike is a week ban. So
if they were not here, we'll be on Facebook, so you can go there.
man, that's true.
I did see it was all these weird facts about like the essential like narrative they were moving forward that people with red hair genetics are not of this planet, right?
Well, that's interesting.
So in
And
order
really
like
weird.
both parents have to have some sort of recessive gene to have a red-haired child. But they were talking about
And who's coming
how
forward with how they're not from here?
I don't know, whatever this YouTube is. That's like the theory, right? That their
Oh, I
genetics are
thought like
different.
you were talking about like some scientific study is
I
coming
don't
forth
know.
with
I mean, somebody has the science for
people
genetics,
with
right?
red hair, essentially octopi.
But their pain receptors are different than like people with brunette hair and people with blonde hair.
That's weird.
They react differently to anesthetics, and they react differently to like topical numbing agents and stuff. Their pain receptors are different. The structure of their hair follicles are different. They have like 40,000 less on average hair follicles, but their hairs are thicker. It's weird. It's weird.
This is weird. It's interesting.
Yeah. I saw that too, that they make their own vitamin D. It's strange. It's strange.
Well, I think a lot of the giants of the past were said to be of red hair.
Yeah. Vikings. The Vikings have red hair.
I don't know that
Eric
they
the Red,
all. I mean, they did have blonde hair and
Redbeard,
stuff too.
Captain Redbeard,
That was a
Captain
pirate.
Blackbeard, the pirate, not an
Yeah.
alien. Full
Oh, okay.
circle. We
Well, now,
solved it.
yeah, that makes sense now.
We bring it
I'm
full
glad we
circle,
cleared that.
and we solved it. Uh, yeah, I did see that. More resistant to painkillers. It's strange.
That is interesting.
I should have paid more attention, but I was probably sleep driving when I was listening to it, and that's what uh, stood out. Let me go through here. Disney is buying the rights to the Bible.
It's kind
I
of
mean,
scary.
that kind of is not that shocking because
Steve, do you remember when the Georgia Guidestones went down? We need to Google that too.
uh beginning of last year, right?
I don't know. 2022.
Yeah, the end of last year.
because I found out another tidbit that also happened in 2022. Me and Brother John were talking about this the other day. I heard everybody knows Easter Island, right? The big heads, big stone heads.
Yeah.
Supposedly, someone burnt those heads down.
What?
Yeah, 2022. Somebody was able to take some type of something out there
No way.
and melt the heads.
Let me Google.
I'm a genius. Actually, I just listened to a really good show, and that was part of it because the guys, Billy Carson was trying to go there, and actually
Fire.
Sean Ryan wanted to go there, and they're like, "Well, you pretty much can't now because somebody was took something out there and melted the heads."
This
Yeah,
says fire
Mark, that's
caused by
exactly where I heard
Reno
it. It was a really good interview, fantastic interview.
volcano. Started Monday and raised more than 100 hectares on the island, damaging its famous stone-carved statues. Easter Island rebounds from wildfire that damaged heads.
Billy was talking like most of the heads got destroyed.
They better not have.
Kind of weird though that having the same year as the Guidestones.
It's weird that they literally have the dude blowing them up on camera along with this car making model, and they still haven't caught him or talked about it.
Well, that's because the film was grainy. You couldn't tell.
You're right.
It's just how these things play out.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, I guess. I do not understand how that you can set off an explosive device, essentially like terrorist activity, and not get caught doing it on film.
Because it was an inside job, bro.
Now we're probably going to get banned for saying
We know the answer to
it was
these
an inside job.
questions. What else did I want to get into? So this will be a little longer, a little lengthy.
I need to listen to that show, that Sean Ryan show.
Dude, that interview blew my mind to pieces. I would love to be able to talk to that guy, but we'll never touch it.
We've had a couple weeks where we've just kind of been thrown in the mix with gathering information that we aren't ready for.
Yeah. But a couple weird things I'd like to pick some people's brains. And I'm glad this will go out to the masses. So last week went up to handle business in Michigan with Shauna's mom. R.I.P. Shauna's mom. Much love. Really bizarre. I wasn't in the best of moods. I'll be the first to admit that. Not my normal self. But it was bizarre, like when we sent her mom off because she was cremated, I felt a massive weight pulled off my chest. And I'm not a person, like when I'm in a not good headspace, it usually, even if the problem gets resolved, like if you and me had an issue and I was just really mad about it, usually I don't do a 180. It takes me time to recover from that, to be like back into happy spirits, you know. But when we sent her mom off, and it was really cool because they had some family there, and we did tobacco offering and everything for her, and uh, we sent her off, and I felt that weight come off, and I completely 180'd. My mood 100% changed, and it was bizarre. I even brought it up with Shauna after the fact. I'm like, it's so crazy because I've buried a couple people in my life, unfortunately. And the amount of closure and comfort I got from spreading the ashes from cremation over putting someone in the ground is 100% different. Way different. It felt so much. It felt like when we scattered the ashes, it was the right thing to do. It felt like we set her soul free. If that, I mean, it may sound crazy to some people, but I'm telling you right now, it's 100% different feeling than putting somebody in the ground. And then I was like, man, if you think about it in a weird kind of gross way, locking somebody in a box and sticking them 6 feet down just kind of makes you feel like we're trapping them here.
Yeah, you're like almost essentially containing them to their mortal coil, you know. They're still
Yeah.
in their human suit.
It's just I've never, dealt with cremation before. That was the first time. And I don't know, man. I didn't know what to expect at all. And the fact that all happened, it just left me dumbfounded for a while, you know? And it just like when I explained that to like me and my wife were talking about it, and she's like, "It totally 100% felt that way." And she even said, she's like, "I noticed right away that when we did that, your mood completely changed. You did 180." And she's like, "And like you said, you're not a person that 180s like that."
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't explain it. I'm like, it literally felt like a piece was just lifted off my chest and then moved, and I'm not even like as connected as, so I can't even imagine like what the rest of the family felt when that happened. But it was really interesting to say the least. And then, the day just got better. We ended up going over to her family's house and they made us an amazing dinner. And I was talking to some of her relatives who are Chippewa. And boy, oh boy, everybody, we are going to have some cool stories coming our way from that bunch. They were talking about, uh, they mentioned, because they're supposed to be writing them out and sending them over. I'm going to have my wife kind of keep tabs on that. But one of my wife's aunts, her daughter moved to Arizona to like start her own ranch out there and stuff. And when she did this, she was having huge problems with skinwalkers night after night after night. And she told her mom about it, which is Shauna's aunt. And her aunt sent her a bunch of ingredients to use. And from that day forward, never had an issue again. And then they also brought up something which I've never heard about. I'm sure I'd be willing to bet Maynard's heard about them, but they brought up bear walkers. They're like, we'll have to tell you about the bear walkers. And I'm like, I'm fucking sold already. And then one of her
Um,
other aunts was loosely telling me a story about whenever they encountered a witch when she was younger. They were in like, I don't know if you remember or not, and I think this is the setting. And if I'm not, I apologize. But I think like remember back in the day when they were trying to convert natives to Christianity, and they put a lot of the children in like these like almost like boarding homes type situations. You remember that, Steve, at all?
I think I've heard about it.
Well, when all the girls were in there, she said a witch came, and all the girls were hiding underneath their beds thinking the witch was coming for them, but the witch was trying to drag the nun out and hurt the nun. So hopefully some of those stories in their full being full, they're gonna come our way and we'll get to talk about them.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
The bear walker kind of falls in line with what Sean Klin said when we had him on here. How there's like different echelons of
Yeah, he very well could
skinwalkers.
be. And I'm sure he knows about them. I'm sure he has heard about them. There's not much out there on them. Uh, but I hope to learn because I haven't heard about it. I saw a little bit about them that I was able to find as I briefly looked, but I was just excited when they started talking about bear walkers and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
It sounded awesome.
Yeah. I've kind of to revert back to what you're saying a couple minutes ago. I've always been a very uh staunch proponent of cremation. I just feel like our burial rites here, especially in the United States, are if you kind of step outside the box and look at them, they are archaic and strange. Like like putting the body on display and all of
Yeah,
that stuff is weird when you
it's
step
weird.
out and think about it, you know?
Yeah,
And then, like, what you're saying, putting people under the ground and locking them in a box, and it's not very comforting.
not really. I've always like my whole life, even growing up the way that I did, and I don't technically I guess I'm not supposed to feel this way, but I've never wanted to be buried ever. The idea of it just freaked me out when I was little, and I've never changed my mind ever.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be cremated.
Yeah. I thought about it a lot too.
Yeah, it's an unsettling feeling. I don't like it.
No.
So that's where I'm at.
Yeah. After we had talked about it a little bit, it made me kinda think about it more.
It's weird, man. It's weird when you sit down sometimes and think about those topics and let your mind just kind of run with it, run down and rationalized and pick apart. It's I don't know. And I've been actually meaning to look into it, look into the history, like where it started and everything else, because I know a lot of cultures throughout time have cremated. But
Yeah.
yeah, I thought about looking into it a little bit.
Have we heard about the mushroom suits? I have heard about them. 'em. I've also heard about, like, there's a company that will plant you in a ball of roots for, like, a tree and all kinds of
Yeah, I'm
stuff.
not trying to do that because I just feel like that would be a possible bad omen for your family.
If your family was eating apples off of your body tree.
Well, there's that. Or if they plant that and then the tree dies,
Oh,
and then
whoops.
it brings that sorrow circle back for them. And I don't think I would be down with that.
There was a meme, and I'll say it, and I'll probably get, banned because no funny stuff on YouTube, but the meme said, "I want my remains to be spread over top of Disney World," and it said, "I also don't wanna be cremated."
That's not very cool.
That's how you get a haunted forest. That's true.
That is true.
True. That's how you get a haunted mushroom field.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Just not for me. Oh, their comments are so weird tonight.
You could always be dipped in resin and have your family eat off you like a table.
No.
We didn't think of body table.
No. I'm good. When I'm gone, it's just time for me to go. I don't need constant reminders around for everybody.
No, I feel that. That's what I said. Sprinkle my ashes in my favorite rock field.
There you go. That'd be a good place for you.
Back to the ground from which I began.
I don't know where I'd want to go. I guess it's just wherever they want to throw me.
Uh, donate yourself to become the next Kentucky meat rain. Mm. Mm.
No thanks.
Soylent Green is people.
Call that like a sky burial.
Yeah.
No thanks. No thanks. But yeah, that's some of the weird things that happened the past week. Outside of that, I don't think I've had too much that I can remember strange happen. Trying to rack
No,
my brain. I don't think I have.
me either.
I said that Billy Carson interview I listened to was fantastic. I mean, there was, you want to talk about just way too much information. That is one of them. Man, it was wild, and it was all just uh like surface scratching too. Like there was no like crazy in depth conversation about it. There were just so many topics that they were just running through that you're just like, what, what? Just constantly being like, oh man, I got to start digging into this shit because it sounds way too cool to not dig into it. They're talking. I can't remember the year. They're talking about how legitimately they transferred human consciousness to computers already. They did it a long time ago. And I'm
That
like,
is
well, that's great. That's great,
that's yeah, crazy. Because I mean, how do we know we're not a computer right now?
dude. I don't know. I don't know.
We would have no way. We would have no way to know.
No, and
Essentially,
you and me definitely aren't smart enough to figure that part
no.
out.
Essentially, all this could just be part of the computer program that it's programmed my brain to experience. Like you are just part of the algorithm. The chat is part of the algorithm.
I definitely believe it because there, I haven't been able to understand society or most people for the past several years. Like just some of the most asinine things have come forth, and I just cannot wrap my brain around it. Which brings me to my other one that I wanted to bring up, and I'm pretty sure I'm right on this one. That I was right.
I like the confidence.
Yeah. So I don't. I know I talked about it. Been quite a while ago. I brought it up because my feed, as I scrolled through things, which I don't do very often anymore, but it used to be a ton of, and I'd be curious if anybody else had the same issues, but there were tons of videos popping up of, I guess I'll say it in a way of like the value of, at least for me, it was a man and a woman in a relationship because there was this big comparison of like who brings what to the table. And it was just utterly mind blowing to listen to some of these conversations. And that's right around the time Andrew Tate blew up. Everybody knows who Andrew Tate is. And I'm like, man, this 100% feels like this is another ploy to get people at each other's throats and just create mass amounts of division and everything else. But I just found out that his dad or was CIA.
Shocking.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, I knew it. I fucking knew that it just made too much sense in my own mind that this was not some type of propaganda, psyop, whatever you want to call it. I'm like, it
Absolutely
just makes
shocking.
perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. But it's just funny how, and now, like in my feeds and stuff, don't see it at all anymore. And his name is virtually dipped off from just about anywhere. But it's funny how these things come in these cycles where there'll be some type of mass propaganda to keep each other's throats, and it'll hammer, 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 and then it'll just hurry up and disappear, and then a new one will come forth. But the people who are mad about whatever was they were seeing, they're still mad about it. So, like we've talked about before, it just creates these like subcultures of people who just have divided themselves so many times. It's almost like there's nothing left of them because they keep breaking away and breaking away and breaking away, and I don't know. It's
It's
just,
almost like people are predictable.
well, I mean, yeah, yeah,
It's almost like they're just waiting for the next thing to pop up on social media to be angry about.
yeah. It's, I don't know, man. It made me feel good. Like I knew it. I knew I was right. I knew there was something weird about the whole situation and how it all just caught fire so fast. It made me feel good that I knew that I was right.
Yeah. Social media is a blessing and a curse.
I agree with
It
that.
helps guys like us out, getting our name out there, building a community, but it's also can easily be the downfall
Oh
of
yeah,
everything, especially the community.
yeah. Very
Uh,
interesting.
we're glad you're here, Shelly. She said in the chat, just want to let you know how awesome you are. I started from the beginning on your podcast only a few weeks ago, and I'm already at February 2023. Totally hooked. We are
Thank
glad to
you.
have you as part of the Hollow Cult.
Thank you. It's much appreciated.
ZR1, what are we discussing? Oh, just a little bit of everything. The whether or not we're a computer program, what happens after we die, social media manipulation,
Yeah, just kind of,
just kind of
I don't know,
kind of go with the
conversation just
flow.
goes where it goes. Yeah. It's never really that scripted on the night shift. Just goes where it goes.
People are constantly angry now, Birdie. I
It is true.
I used to be like that. Probably 10 years ago maybe. Like I focused so much energy into just any possible thing I could think of negatively. Like anything that went wrong, I would just constantly focus on it and just feed all this like negative energy into like this woe is me mentality, blah blah blah. And then one day I woke up and I'm like, doesn't matter. None of it matters. Why am I even putting energy toward anything that's not gonna move me forward or make me better or anything along that line? And then I just kind of stopped focusing on it. And it's made my blood pressure go down. It's like,
It does, it brings more clarity to your life,
yeah, you stop focusing
you
on the
know?
shit that's negative. Like you can't eliminate all negativity from your life. Like I still bitch about my job and stuff like that.
Oh,
But those are like
yeah.
constants. I just stopped focusing so much time at it.
Those are the, in my opinion, I'll put that out there first. In my opinion, those are the negative elements that kind of almost do good because I'm a pretty big fan of like, and I know this is not admirable at all, but like if you and me worked the same job, Steve, and we had the exact same bitches and we're standing around bitching about it one day, it kind of builds camaraderie a little bit. Like,
Oh yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like we're both in the shit together and we realize that this is horrible. We should not be doing this and this is a waste of time. But here we
Yep.
are. We're here, we're doing it together, and it almost gets to a point where it's negative, but you laugh about it. Where you're just like, God, this is dumb. This is
Yep.
dumb. It's the worst thing ever.
Yeah, you don't even like it gets to a point to where it's pointless to even give it energy. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
focusing anything at it, like especially things that are things that you can't control, like Bertie said. Just once you can let go of those things, your life is like it's like a 180. If you just let go of
Yeah.
the things that you can't control, focus more on the things that you can change within your own four walls to make you better, to make your spouse better, to make your kids better. It changes your whole outlook on the world,
It's
and
easier said than done too. I will put that out
that is
there.
true. That is true. It's easy
Because
to
don't
get
get me
back.
wrong. Yeah, there's days where I mean I know you're the same way where you're good. You're good as gold, man. You're happy, everything's funny, you're living your life. And then there's, the next day, it's your pillars have cracked and the world is coming down on you. And I feel like you're probably a lot like me and a lot like people in the chat. When it rains, it pours. Everything comes flooding back. The gates are open, and let's just get hammered.
Yep.
So, but you're right. It is important to try to be on that positive path.
And when it does start hitting, I have to like disconnect from everything for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh
Just
yeah.
kind of unplug, put my phone down, be by myself, kind of reboot my brain a little bit. Like, hey,
Mhm.
I know it sucks, but it's not going to suck forever. So, kind of start feeling a little bit more positive and move in that direction.
Yeah. It's kind of funny you say that because we were talking about that type of kind of a little bit at work the other day, and I was like, because I was telling a story of an old lady I saw in Walmart in Michigan, and it was funny because I'm pretty sure she could 100% walk, but she was on one of the little moped things, right? And y'all know,
I hope
everybody
it's a
knows what,
real moped.
which just this is freaking ridiculous, man. So she's on this little moped thing with the little basket up front. But I feel like in her mind, that basket wasn't big enough. So what'd she do? She found like this little cart deal. It reminded me a lot of like a dolly, but instead of like the flat piece that you scoop it up with, there's a basket down there. Well, she took that and she tied it to the back of the
Yes.
little moped deal, right?
Scooter.
So now it's like she has the scooter. So now she has like a trailer that she's pulling behind that thing, right? And she goes to take this corner, takes it ultra wide, just runs right into the end cap of the aisle, bam, hits it, and she's like, oh, and then just puts it in reverse, runs into all like the female products, knocks all of them over, cuts it, wipes out more stuff, and takes off. No care in the world. And I'm like, you know what? I absolutely adore people that are like that. That just like they have no care, no care, just on with life. And then she'd stop. She'd just randomly stop and be like, I can't even remember what I came here for. And she'd laugh and then just take off. Away she'd go.
I got a story for that, but I want to shout out Paranormal Trucker for he always takes the time to check in.
He's a
Stay
good
safe in
dude.
your travels.
He's a
But
good dude.
whenever
He's solid.
whenever I was sales and merchandising for Pepsi, there was an old man on one of the scooters, and they just built this big wine end cap. I'll be damned if he didn't drive directly into that.
My
Just
God.
broken glass and wine everywhere. Dude just backs out, takes off, leaving a wine snail trail as he goes.
There you go.
Just a cruising.
No fucks given.
Yeah,
I love it, man.
he
I
just
love
ruined
it.
everybody's day from the liquor salesman to the person that has to clean up the floor, and he just cruising.
But there was one guy's day that wasn't bad at all, and it was his.
Yeah.
He just kept on trucking. I don't know. It's funny.
More kind words. The chat is being exceptionally kind tonight.
Yeah. Thank you.
Geneva,
Much
Night Shift
love.
is great, and Hollow Sky is my favorite podcast. You guys are the best. That's because we have the best listeners.
This is true. This
Start
is
from
true.
start from the ground, and build up. What else weird did I hear about? There was
do.
some weird UFO rumblings on Twitter, but I didn't take the time to read them. Work has been nuts lately. I can't remember. I usually try to take screenshots and save them, but I did not. What everybody think about the Paranormal Pancake episode that dropped this past few days?
I'm
How do we
not
feel
trying to
about
eat
that?
those ones.
Aliens, Fae, they all the same? Are they all the same source? Because I'm pretty sure they are, and I'm ready to fight them all. There's something coming this week. That's like Twitter's catchphrase for the last 2 years. Something big's coming. Something big is coming. Something big's coming.
I mean, if you consistently say that every week, then eventually, statistically, you should get something right.
Yeah. But I mean, at what point, like, what constitutes big? Like we literally had the government hearings on UFOs, which is pretty big. So somebody got it right that week.
That's true. That's true.
Something big is coming. Something big is coming. I wish it'd get here already. Like, I'm ready.
Well, like me too.
I'm ready. Let the phenomenon make itself seen and let
Blatant.
it choose the timeline it wants to take. I'm done with the government disclosure, like we're gonna let it trickle down, blah blah blah. No, let the phenomenon choose the route it wants to take and let the people deal with it.
And I say, let it choose me and Steve.
I'm ready. I'm ready to fight it, whatever it is. I'm 100% positive it's all coming from the same source. Be it demons, be it aliens, be it old gods, be it new gods, be it demigods, be it other gods. I don't give a shit. It's all probably the same thing manipulating people. Show yourself and let's go. Nephilim, angels, gods, demons, cryptids, ghosts, whatever. I'm positive it's all stemming from the same whatever it is, and it's here to manipulate humanity.
See, I feel that, but I still have reservations. I guess it just depends when you say same source. How like there needs to be more clarification for me to be 100% on board with that statement.
I wish I knew what it was.
Yeah.
Interdimensional, extraterrestrial, ultradimensional. These are just words that we're putting on them because we don't understand what the hell they are.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
But I'm just ready.
Paranormal says, I just want to give belly rugs to a dog man.
I'm here for
Hopefully
that too.
he's that friendly. Hopefully he's that friendly.
I am here for
Because
that.
boy, oh boy, would that be one hell of a guard dog.
Virgil, the picture made it look like a translucent disc ship made out of clouds. Where was that? Over Disney, did you say? Because we got a picture sent to us that's very similar
Yeah.
to exactly
Yeah,
what you
Virgil, if you
described.
have Instagram, go check my latest Instagram post because it should be on there. And that is eerily similar
I
to
didn't
what
mean
you
to change
described.
gears, but I saw that in
No,
the
no, no,
chat,
no,
and
no.
it made me.
No. I don't know. It is weird because I didn't really know how to describe that. The one in the picture we got. It's
Yeah.
it's definitely strange.
Looked like a translucent disc ship made out of a cloud. That's kind of like
That's pretty
pretty
much
close.
like almost dead on to what we have a picture of. And the listener took it from a plane. Yeah, I posted 4 pictures. 2 are of the same, just different zoom levels. Other 2 are the same, just of different zoom levels, if that's what you're referring to. Interesting, though. Very interesting.
Yeah, I just
We've
brought
been
it up
getting
to
some
see what
wild
everybody.
listener submissions here of late, too,
Yeah.
that I've, like, briefly have skimmed through. The most recent one for sure, definitely fucking weird.
I
I'm
keep trying to
excited to fully
catch
get into
them,
that one.
catch them as they come in and put them in the listener experience file.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really if you go and listen to the Mr. Mythos Ultra Terrestrial episode, like he talked about pancakes for probably like the first, I don't know, 20 minutes. And then he goes like well off the rails into like Jacques Vallée and John Keel, and he just keeps rolling and rolling. But it really makes you question the phenomena, right? What its purpose is, why it's here, why it's even bothering with humanity at all. why some experiences are so absurd, but yet they are repeating. You think something of the absurdity of entities that aren't human making pancakes would be a one-off, but
Or
then it's not.
the sky hooks.
Yeah, the ropes from the sky, which Mr.
Yeah.
Mythos talked about that. It's is it using these like weird, absurd experiences to strip the validity of the experiencer? I I don't know. I don't
Like
know.
I said, I hope not in that case because that shows a lot like I don't know. There's like a deception factor in that that's just gross.
I think that's
Like
probably a
a
lot more
sinister
real.
deception.
What was I saw that question asked earlier. Let me scroll through this chat here.
What question?
Someone asked what we think aliens are. Do you think aliens are optimists, nihilists, or absurdists? Question mark.
I don't think they care.
Hmm. Yeah, I think when it comes to humans, they don't.
For the
I
most part,
think it.
I don't think most of them care.
No, I don't think we matter. I
Mm-mm.
think at best, we are entertainment.
Yeah,
At
because
worst,
in a lot
we're
of our
a cosmic
research,
buffet.
in a lot of our research, it seems like and we've talked about it before, how they remove emotion from decision making. Like they don't have emotion, so they're just kind of impartial to everything. It just is or isn't to them.
Yeah, I think that's part of, uh, like I said before, like the evolutionary timeline. The further you go, the less emotions affect your decision making. Because I mean, as humans, we are pretty flawed when it comes to that. We make bad decisions based on emotions. We make good decisions
Oh
based on
yeah.
emotions,
Oh
but we
yeah.
also make a lot of terrible decisions based on emotions and not logic and reason.
100%. It happens a lot, and everyone's guilty of it.
And I think as you progress and as you evolve, those emotions either get dialed back or they just get completely taken out. Like everything is specifically logic and reasoning based. We did this because of this. We are doing this because of this. Not
Yeah.
because I feel this way, but because A leads to B leads to C. This is how we're doing it.
Yeah. And it does seem semi-logical in survival, I guess, from a pure evolutionary standpoint.
Yeah.
But I don't like I personally don't like the idea of the human race losing emotion.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's what makes us human. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I wouldn't want to see a future where there's no emotion at all whatsoever. It just is or isn't.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that plate over there's blue. How do you feel about that, Steve? Well, I mean, it's
Does
blue.
it have hot wings on it?
Just is
Because
what
I'd
it
feel a
is. I
lot
don't
different
give
if
a
it
fuck
did.
with Well, yeah, hot wings are
Yeah.
pretty good.
But I get it. And I think that's what makes us uniquely human is that we do carry these emotions. We do carry them on our sleeve. We do process them like the same way we process logic and reason, whether it end up in a good scenario or a bad scenario. It's still a primary factor in our decision making and what we do every day of our lives.
I think that makes us unique, and I think our soul does. Now that's however description you want to use that. The dark matter that's inside us, the energy force that's inside us, the soul, whatever it is. I think there's something to that too. Because they're like when I had my one-off episode by myself, they talked about dark matter, and I saw that post of the one scientist coming out and saying that they believe that's what everything is made of is dark energy, dark matter, whatever it was, whatever label they put on it. that everything comes from dark energy, which means it's a viable source of energy throughout the universe.
Yeah, I heard some statistics somewhere, which take that with a grain of salt. There's more dark matter than there is light matter, I guess.
Yeah, we don't even know what that is, though.
No.
We don't even know the difference, so it doesn't matter.
Alien pancakes would be a great food truck name. That is true.
Mm.
Oh, I was
People do like
gonna
pancakes.
hold that thought.
Let's see. What are you looking at?
I was going to talk about. I know in either the last night shift or the night shift before, we had talked about. People were asking about 40 and airwaves and Bigfoots and brews. But I talked to Eric from Uncomfortable. We were group chatting him, and he said this year Bigfoots and brews, as far as the schedule goes, it's supposed to be September 14th. It's Bigfoot Brews and Spirits 2. So I know some people were asking about that. 40 and Airwaves is planned to be moving forward. So as there's nothing set in stone as of right now, but there should be another one this year. As Eric gets that kind of lined out, we will definitely push forward and keep the information flowing. I know he's already got it in the works and he's setting the groundworks. Different location this time.
What state was it in again that he was aiming for? Not that it's set in stone.
Indiana this year.
That's what I thought.
A little bit closer for us,
Yeah,
which would be nice
it's definitely nice.
because it was about 1,000-mile round trip whenever we drove out to Ada.
It was a nice drive, though. It was pretty.
Oh yeah, it went a lot quicker than I thought it was going to.
Boop.
Hey, the phone lines are open.
I opened it. Woot,
For the
woot.
record, whenever the phone lines are open, there will be a little ticker down here that says "Hollow Phone is now live," and it will give you the number.
Yeah, it's open. Yeah, that's the idea. That at least that's the information we've got so far. It doesn't mean that it's set in stone, because I'm sure there's way more planning involved than I would know.
I'm not privy to say we're at in Indiana yet, Twiz, because nothing is set in stone. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up.
Yeah,
Until I know Eric is in the works with a place that has lodging on site.
which is great.
Yeah. Once he gets them ironed out, I will let everybody know. We have been invited back this year, so as long as our schedule works out, I'm sure we will be there and hanging out. It was a lot of fun this last year. It's cool to meet everybody. Cool to hang out. So as it gets more ironed out, we will put the information forward. But I know people were asking. So as of right now, Eric is definitely planning on moving forward with 40 and Airwaves. And we will definitely keep everybody in the loop.
All right, phone call.
Phone call.
Hey, welcome to the night shift. What's going on?
Yo.
How's it going, guys?
Not bad. How are you?
I'm all right. Still
Good.
at work, but trying to get through it.
Yes, sir.
You got this. You got this.
I was listening to the live show, and I wanted to say I completely agree with y'all on the social media aspect of things. I feel like social media is a blessing and a curse. Obviously for y'all kind of have to have it so that y'all can get information and pictures, things of that nature, so that y'all can do y'all show. But at the same time, there's a lot of, just say it, fuck shit on there that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. A lot of people get angry over dumb things.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
I've always thought that they're nothing but a cesspool. You can ask Steve. I've never had a Facebook in my entire life, and I never will.
Yeah.
The only thing I've ever gotten was the Instagram, and that was just because it just, in my eyes, it's just pictures, and then you move forward. But I don't know.
Yeah,
A lot of it is just a place
easy
for
to
people
weaponize.
Yeah, man. It's just bad news. It makes me feel like
Yeah.
shit a lot of times.
Yeah, I completely agree. And like I deleted my Facebook a couple of years ago. I don't use it. And I had Instagram for just a time, just so that way I could talk to my friends I played Call of Duty with. And I don't play Call of Duty anymore, so I deleted it. Secondly, I want to ask real quick because I didn't know if y'all get in trouble or not. Can I suggest a movie for y'all to watch?
Why not?
Okay. So I recently watched this movie on Hulu called No One Will Save You.
Oh yeah, I saw it last year.
Okay. I just want to say
Was it No One Will Save
that shit was fucking weird.
What one's that about?
No, I didn't see
Is
that
that
one. I think it's a different one.
the
The new
extraterrestrial
alien
one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw clips of that, and it looks terrifying.
Damn, I have not seen that.
It's definitely up y'all's alley. First off, second off, like I didn't like there was not like a whole lot that was like super scary, but I watch horror movies all the time. But I will say this: when y'all do watch it, and you'll probably see it in the trailer, that big motherfucker, if it started running at me full speed, I would have most likely shit my pants.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm pretty sure it was in the trailer, and it was terrifying.
That's the best best defense mechanism, to just shit your pants.
Yeah. But like in the movie, like you really just need to watch it because the trailer doesn't do it a whole lot of justice. It shows you all the scary stuff, but there's a lot more like psychological shit in there that will really make you think.
There was one that I watched a long while back, and I don't even know if you're gonna be able to find it, but I think it's just called Extraterrestrial.
Mm-hmm.
Bizarre movie. It's kind of the same premise as what, at least from the trailer of No One Will Save You. It has to deal with tall grays, and it's these kids, they go camping.
Yeah.
And it turns into a nightmare.
Yeah, that's essentially how this one goes. It kind of starts real slow and then it just really fucking ramps up.
Yeah.
But like I said, I watched it recently with my wife, and the first thing I thought was, I need to tell these guys about it because it's right up their alley.
I've seen the previews, but I haven't.
I'll have to try to catch it.
I think it's on. I think it's on Hulu or Netflix.
It's on Hulu, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's really all I had to say. Like I just wanted to tell y'all about that, and I would love to hear y'all's like what am I trying to say? Y'all's like how y'all thought about the movie, like in a night shift or whatever.
For sure,
like,
yeah.
Obviously, I'm not asking y'all to do anything. I'm just saying, like, watch it and you'll understand what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah. It's really fucking weird.
I'll have to watch it for sure now.
Yeah,
because I hadn't really heard anything about it until you just brought it up. Because I remember seeing the trailer and I'm like, yeah, right, fuck this thing, and then it just kind of like disappeared. I didn't hear many people who'd watched it, but since you're bringing it back up, I'll have to definitely check it out.
I keep skimming past it because I have like PTSD from Fire in the Sky. So anytime I watch it like that, I'm like,
definitely gives that kind of vibe. But yeah. Anyways, like I said, the social media stuff, everything, I completely agree with y'all. And then like the simulation theory, man, I hate to think about that kind of shit, man. I hate the simulation theory.
Yeah.
Like, I got two little girls, and like if I found out that shit was like basically not real, I don't know what the fuck I would do, you know? Probably go crazy.
Yeah, I'm not trying to think about that either.
But I mean, one more question. Have y'all ever heard about the prison planet theory?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm not gonna bore y'all with that one then. I kind of personally subscribe more to that one than anything, but at the end of the day, I guess it doesn't really fucking matter one way or the other, right?
We're here.
Yeah. We got to deal with it.
Yeah.
One way or the other. But we're all in it together.
I'm gonna get back to work. I appreciate y'all taking my call, and I hope that I didn't bore y'all with or any dumb shit like that. So
no.
Good to hear from you.
Called, man.
We hope you get you through the night.
Oh, definitely. I'm basically done. I'm just waiting for the time to run out now.
There you go.
Oh yeah, it's the best part of the day.
Right. Anyways, y'all have a good night, and I'll let the next caller get you. Okay.
All right, man.
Stay weird, brother.
Much love.
Thanks,
much love, Steven. Yeah, man, it's cool to hear a bunch of people kind of feel the same way about stuff like that.
Yeah, and like I said, social media is so easily weaponized
Yeah.
because like we were like it kind of leans into how we put emotions first. You see something that makes you angry on social media and you're immediately going to talk about it, and you have
Yeah.
your own little like echo chamber of people that you keep close that probably think and feel the same way you do. So when you get
Oh
on there
yeah.
spouting off shit, everybody's like, yeah, and that makes you feel like what you said matters, which it doesn't because it's
Yeah.
social media and it's stupid.
Well, and it's with all the data that they collect all the time, I'm sure almost everybody has individualized algorithms.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like it's gotten to that point with technology where I almost guarantee everybody has individual algorithms.
Oh yeah, yep. And I pretty much just use it to promote the show or post stupid stuff on TikTok. So
Yeah. Yeah, if I get bored, I'll scroll reels on Instagram for just a minute and then I'm like, hey, there's a funny one. I'll send it to my wife and then that's about it. That's about as far as it goes.
yeah,
Because on my personal one, I don't post shit ever. I don't at all.
no, I don't use mine very much either. I
Oh, brother John coming in.
brother
Much
John.
love, brother. Much love.
Brother John. Me and Kyle keep talking about an excursion, an expedition.
It's gonna happen. It has to
So
happen.
I know we talk about it a lot. We need to do less talking, more doing. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of vacation time from work, so we have to
Yeah.
plan it out where we can get
Well,
there on my days off, and
yeah. And I feel that. I've missed quite a bit of work here of recent.
because it's lame.
It is. Work is definitely lame. I'm not trying to do that anymore.
Fucking- this is the quote of 2024. Work is lame. I'm not trying to do that anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's facts, dude. Like
It is.
being on for 8 weeks was probably the worst thing that's ever happened.
I told you.
It is not. I mean, I had to. We got a caller, but I had to do it. But it was a bad decision.
I'm
It
off work
really
for
was.
like 12 hours and I don't want to go back.
I know it is bad. Hey, welcome to the night shift. What's going on?
Yo.
Hey, it's Peyton again.
How are you?
Hi.
I'm good. How are you guys?
Oh, we're doing good.
Can you guys hear me okay? I'm at work.
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you just fine.
All right. Well, I haven't really shared any of my stories with you guys, and I do plan on doing another WWE very soon.
Yes. Yes.
But since we talked about Michigan earlier in the night shift, I figured I'd share an experience I had just a couple weeks ago in Michigan. I went with the Cryptids of the Corn guys on an ice fishing trip. And it's my very first time in the state of Michigan. You know, I've been in Ohio and Michigan and blah, blah, blah. We're supposed to hate each other, but it was like the most peaceful time I have ever had. And sometimes when I get like way too worked up, I have like something in my eye, and it will, if I'm looking at a picture, it's like a magnifying glass almost, will like zoom in on, you know, what I'm looking at. And I can't really catch it with my eye because it'll move randomly. So it happens like when I need to like just chill out, I get too stressed, and I'm trying to focus on, you know, having a really great time. It helps me relax. And when I was out there on the ice with those guys, I was able to see it. It was super, super cool.
That's wild.
That is awesome. First off, shout out to Cryptids of the Corn. I need to get a hold of those fellas. Do you think being calm tuned you into it more than like when you get worked up?
I do, yeah, I do think so because I don't see it all that often. I think since October, that's the second time I've seen it. And before October, I hadn't seen it in a couple of years.
That's weird. It's almost like a warning system for your body.
It is weird. What part of Michigan did you visit?
We went to Clare. That's where the cabin was at.
Okay.
But we went all around to
Oh, that's
check
awesome.
different fishing spots.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful state.
Yeah, it was really cool because like my husband's not a big like let's move out of state and find somewhere to retire because we're 26. So, but he's like, I've been looking all week long at different houses in Michigan, and I think I want to move there. And it's so peaceful.
It is. We were all the way up in Escanaba, the Upper Peninsula, and it's like our second time being there, and it's super peaceful. It's beautiful. It is relaxing. It does put you in kind of a different state.
Yeah. Well, I thought I'd just share that quick little story with you guys. I hope you guys have a great night.
Thanks, you as well.
You as well.
And stay weird.
You
You
too.
too. Be safe out there.
Bye. I will. I definitely will. Bye.
Bye.
See ya. I've never been to Michigan. I don't
It's
think.
pretty. It's
I
pretty.
don't think. Hopefully I make it up there. I know there's a
It's
lot.
a
There's some
little
Bigfoot,
chilly, but
some Bigfoot cons, I think, up that way. And Paracons, I can't remember. I see so many flyers.
much love.
We
Much love. Another one just
man,
came in. Much
you guys
love.
are blasting them. Blasting them. I did hear that the Pennsylvania is a pretty good hot spot for the Bigfoots. Big feets. I
I'm
would
down
like
to
to
go
go
look
out
for
there
some big feets.
and
But
get some.
we don't we have a potential Bigfoot location? A couple here pretty close.
Oh yeah, Pure
Where we could
Market.
actually make them.
Yeah,
But
we could
there was
go.
somebody who messaged us about them. So they moved their
There's
property every fall.
uh
Wait a minute. I thought you knew them, but maybe not. I don't remember.
not right
I just
offhand.
remember them saying that. Hey, we got another phone call.
Let's go.
Hey, welcome to the night shift. What's going on?
Yo.
Hi, Kyle.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Wasn't expecting you to answer, but it's completely awesome that you did. So thank you.
Absolutely.
So I'm the one that just messaged and said that I started listening to you guys a few weeks ago, and I'm already at February of 2023.
Awesome.
A stay-at-home mom, and I'm literally listening to you guys 24/7. It's bugging my guys because I'm literally like, leave me alone. I need to listen. But I have so many experiences to share with you guys, and I just don't know where to start. So my question is, do you want to hear about the Phantom Circus that appeared? Do you want to hear about poltergeist activity? Do you want to hear about a UFO that I saw? Do you want to hear about my sleep paralysis? And the one shadow guy that I saw. So that's pretty much the broad spectrum that I have. So you get to choose from that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going with the circus.
Yeah, the chat's calling for the circus.
Okay. All right. So I've pretty much been a girl I've always been in a relationship, right? So I'd come out of a serious relationship of about 2.5 years, and I was probably about 18, 19 at this time. And the guy that I was seeing at the time was unfortunately a friend of the guy that I just got out of a relationship with. Yeah, I know. no bro code there whatsoever. So we're trying to be secretive about the way that we're maneuvering about our maneuvers. And so we decide to go to the, and it's in quotations right now, Lover's Lane, that is by where I live. So we're driving down, and it's literally like country lanes. There's sheep, there's just fields. You can go walking, and there's the bowling, and there's water, and it's amazing. It's back in England, by the way. So we're driving down the road, and we're just talking, and this, that, and the other, and there's just this random circus tent over on the right hand side, right? Now you have to remember we drive on the other side of the road back there. So I'm like, sorry, but mind my French, what the fuck? So I look at the guy that I'm with, and we'll just call him R. And I'm like, do you see that? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, we're literally in the middle of fucking nowhere, and there's a random fucking circus tent. And when I say it's a circus tent, it's like full on circus tent with lights. It's a glow. And we're like, why the fuck is there a circus tent right there? And so with that, and us acknowledging it, we're like driving past, and we're not driving fast because you can't back there. It's like 35 miles an hour, and it's one lane. And with that, we're like, what the fuck? And then we turn back and we look, and it's gone. And when I say it's gone, like, not that the lights have just gone off, but like the whole outline of anything that was there is just completely gone. So we carry on driving, and I'm like prone to just this random shit, just being like, okay, whatever. But this is where the relationship ended, because when I was like, hey, like, what the fuck was that? And he was just like, it was nothing. There was nothing there. We didn't see anything. And like didn't want to talk about it. So I was like, all right, yeah, we're cool, bro. Like, we'll finish this night out at Lover's Lane, and then after that we're done. So yeah.
I've never heard anything like that.
I have heard of UFO encounters that resemble circus tents.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, with the lights. There was one from
But it does make sense.
New Mexico, I think I remember reading about. It was a hunter saw a circus tent in the middle of the woods and saw these weird hooded beings moving around, and the thing took off like a goddamn UFO.
See, I didn't see anybody. It was that. It was literally lit up, and it was like, oh, the circus is in town. And then it was like, wait, why the fuck would the circus be right there? It's in the middle of nowhere.
That's so
And then
creepy.
it was like, as soon as we got it, and then we looked back, and I looked back, and it was just gone. There was no, because like, even if you turn the lights off, there's still going to be an outline of something there. And there was nothing. It was just an empty field, and it was nothing. And it was just the way that he reacted as well. He was like, it was nothing. Like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And I'm like, but it was, you saw it. It was right fucking there.
That's so creepy.
It
That was the
is
first thing I
terrifying.
thought of. Once you started talking about seeing the lights and shit, I'm like, that sounds like a UFO. It sounds like a circus tent UFO.
Yeah, but like, for it to be there and then not be there, but there was no missing time. There was no, it was weird. I knew that it happened because he freaked out the way that he did. for him to be like, oh, it was nothing, like, you know, there was nothing to see here, sir. It was like, no, there really was something to see there, and like, why are you not acknowledging it?
Well, it's like
So
Kyle just rolls over and goes to bed whenever he sees
Yeah.
Big Dick.
He just straight up disconnected from the situation.
That's exactly what I thought about it. The amount of synchronicities that I've had since I've been listening to you guys is ridiculous. Because the only reason that I got onto your podcast was Paranormal Roundtable that I listened that I'm like friends with on Facebook. They posted about the egress flyers. And then someone had commented, oh, you need to watch the Hollow Sky episode with you guys talking about it. And so I watched that episode. And from that episode, I was like, oh, I need to go back and start from the beginning. And so that's where I'm at right now.
That is awesome. We went to the first Dogman conference and we got to meet Wolf and hang out with him a little bit. It was awesome. It was awesome. But yeah, the egress time was a strange time in our
See, I'm only at 2023, so I don't know what, because I've not wanted to spoil myself and do like where you're at now and then go back and do the back and forth. So I'm really behind on where you are at with that. So I don't even know, like, where are you at with that?
Yeah, if you're at 2023, you're probably as caught up as it's gonna get because it
Really?
it just dried up and went away. We had somebody emailing us for a little bit last year, just fucking with us basically.
Yeah.
When we finally called them out on it, it just dried up. But as far as the actual interaction with whatever was behind the flyers, it pretty much stopped the same way it came in. Which it's bizarre. Me and Kyle are trying to compile everything that happened to put into like a series so everybody can get all the information in one spot. But trying to
Right.
line everything up is a chore.
I'm gonna have to do like a voicemail and just send in. I'm sorry, my dog's like chewing his dog toy in the background. Do a voicemail of all my encounters because, like I say, I've had the Shadow Man, and my granddad he's from Jamaica originally, from Kingston, and when he was born with a veil over his face, and they believe that to be connected to the spirit world. And I've got so many stories from him where he'd have to take a match with him if he went on a night out, and he'd break it into 3, and he'd have to leave 2 pieces on his way home and keep the 3rd piece, so that if any spirits were wanting to follow him home, they'd always be looking for the 3rd piece and they wouldn't actually follow him home. I mean, there was some nights that he went out and he'd have a little bit to drink because we're English. I mean, even though he was Jamaican, he was in England, and he'd forget that 3rd piece and they'd follow him home, and my grandma would wake up and he's like eyes wide open and pinned to the bed, and she'd have to turn the light on and everything would go back to normal. But yeah, I just actually, once I started listening to you guys, I emailed my grandma and I was like, hey, I just want to, because I wanted to compile everything. And I was like, hey, it was you that heard somebody when I was like in my crib saying, just be good for your mom, right? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, and then it was my uncle from the other side that saw a ghost hovering over my crib, and she was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, all right, as long as I'm just getting all my ducks in a row, because I don't want to like mislead you or give you, bad information. But yeah, it's crazy. But I have to tell you, since I've moved to the States, thankfully, nothing nothing has happened apart from like a crazy couple of like sightings or something. But I think that's just me reading more into things. Yeah, it was crazy when I lived in the UK, but since I've moved over here, it's like totally calmed out. And I actually think that that's my husband. That's a lot to do with that. He's the yin to me yang.
Well, that's
If
awesome.
you understand that. So yeah. Anyway, sorry, I've been chatting your ears off.
No, it's okay.
I'm sure you've got plenty of other people that want to call in, but yeah, I'll share the rest of my stories with you guys. And thank you so much for answering.
Absolutely. Thanks for calling in.
And have a great night.
You as well.
You too.
Bye.
Stay weird.
All right, bye.
You too, guys. Love you. Bye.
Much love. Oh, that's awesome. That was a good
That
call.
is awesome.
But
I
bro,
don't
I'm
know.
saying fuck a random circus tent out in the middle of nowhere.
Dude, the first thing when she started talking about it, I remember reading about a UFO circus tent. If I find that,
See, I was just like envisioning like a phantom circus out there, whether it be like a residual situation or something to that degree, or a time slip. But then you threw the UFO in there, and I'm like, that makes way too much sense, and I don't like it.
it might be both, because that's what the phenomenon decides it wants to do. I did know one absolute that I knew once I heard that the circus tent story was going to come out was that Twiz was going to post ICP lyrics in the chat.
Oh, I figured as much too.
100%. And it did happen. Yeah, shout out to Paranormal Roundtable and their whole social media crew, because they're awesome. They let us share stuff on their social media pages. A lot of people are
that's
real
surprising.
anal about that. They don't want to share any of their limelight, but that whole crew over there is awesome. And like I said, we're at the
Hang on, Steve. Hang on. We got another call.
Sorry.
It's all good. Hey, welcome to the night shift. What's going on?
Yo.
Hey, you guys. Sorry, it's Mystic from the chat.
No worries.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, so you guys mentioned the Sean Ryan show earlier, right?
Yep.
With what's his name, Billy Carson.
Yep.
Well, the next episode after that is probably the most important episode, in my opinion, that he's done.
Really?
Yeah. It's Joe McMoneagle. Joe McMoneagle, yeah. And that guy, he's like interesting as hell. But he was Army intelligence for a long time, and he was basically the first psychic spy in the first psychic spy programs before freaking I forgot what it eventually became, but it was like Project Grill Flame. And yeah, and this guy, he had a near death experience, and so his near death experience, I've also had a near death experience, and that's why I'm like super into him. But his near death experience, like after his, he was like an adult, and I think it's different when you're an adult. You know, it like shatters so much of your preconceived notions that it just really opens you up.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah, and he he just started having out of body experiences after that, and then eventually he was already in intelligence. He was working to basically track down Vietnamese headquarters, like the Viet Cong headquarters, in order to like shut down operations. But yeah, so he got there was like an assassination attempt on him. They gave him some enzymatic freaking concoction that basically put him in a cardiac arrest, and he was dead for quite a while. And and yeah, like his experience with the military, doing what he did there, is just it's incredible. The stuff that he did, the information that he procured through going out of body and just uh, doing reconnaissance missions, pretty much all the way through the Cold War. And then he's one of the only people to go straight from doing it for the military to doing it for these labs. So now he actually teaches a course on how to go out of body and experience these things at the Monroe Institute. So if there was ever a Hail Mary, I would love to see you guys have him on the show. Honestly, that would be a cool freaking.
It would
Because
be awesome.
I think he's trying to get the word out. He's 78 years old, and he's looking for somebody to. Oh, well, he's looking for people to get interested in this field of study.
That would be awesome.
I'm saying right now that if we did this full time, I'll go take his class.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
so weird
Yeah.
the timing that you call in and talk about this, because we were talking with Eric from Uncomfortable 2 days ago, and we're talking about remote viewing classes
Yeah, it is
and
weird.
stuff of that nature. That is strange.
Yeah, we're just talking about just going full send into it. It is weird.
Well, I would say if there's a time to do it, it's now. You might run into Sean up there because he said he was gonna go out to the Monroe Institute and try it out himself.
It would
So
be wild, man. It would
That
be
would be
wild.
awesome.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, Joe's a cool guy. I like him a lot. However, I mean, he's ex-intelligence, so obviously there was a couple of things that I didn't agree with him on, like the reason why the CIA got lambasted for MK Ultra. It's because they drugged the guy and threw him out of a window.
Right.
And he just acted like the guy took too many drugs and then fell out of a window. But hey, man, I mean, that's the information that he was probably given, and I've probably seen way different, sources.
Right.
So, yeah, yeah. But and that's one thing about our like our community that I kind of can't stand, is that when we get information from people of the establishment, we tend to just like think that 100% of it is like absolutely irrefutably false because of the source. But like we don't tend to think about how like compartmentalized the government is, and like how some people have very good intentions behind their work for them, so they're not privy to the whole game, you know
Oh yeah.
and like while this guy was doing reconnaissance for the military and like stopping child traffickers and doing all kinds of humanitarian work and finding military bases and telling the military that the Russians are making giant subs and stuff well before we have any sort of reconnaissance in the area, like doing that kind of stuff is like fantastic, and that's like God's work, you know what I mean? Whereas like just on the other side of that, at the same exact time, there were dudes in the CIA doing like extremely horrible things, you know?
Yeah.
So, and I mean, like, it's the same thing with Sean Ryan. A lot of people in our like community don't even listen to Sean Ryan because he was ex CIA. And it's like, you're kind of messing up. That's where all the information is. Even if you're trying to expose something, you got to get it from somewhere.
Yeah. Yep. He has taken a hard left turn in life, and it is very interesting to listen to it.
Oh yeah. And what I think is going to be crazy is like Sean Ryan show in the next like 5 years is going to be completely different.
Oh, probably.
It's because like he's going to be so opened up to all the different stuff. He's going to have all the people on, especially if he's already having people on like Billy Carson. Like he's going to have, he'll have such a different understanding in the coming years. Like it's honestly a cool time to be alive because of that, because people can come out of their like normal day-to-day structured activities and then meet people or talk to people like that are completely different and have completely different experiences. And yeah, this is a cool time to be alive.
It is.
And there's weird shit going on all the time, like of course, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's culminating to something. There's something coming,
I
as
feel the
far
same
as
way.
like, yeah, like there's definitely something happening. And whether or not it's like what what a lot of, normal conspiracy theorists think it is, just like aliens and whatnot, that's cool. I'd be all right with that almost. But like, if it's this Nephilim shit or like, fallen angel type shit, that's kind of weird. But like, in all honesty, I don't know. It's just like, it would have sucked to be alive in the 1800s. The only thing we have to worry about is like syphilis.
Yeah, that's not very cool. Not very cool.
Yeah, like syphilis and like yellow fever. Fuck that, or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's definitely something that a lot of people should be getting into. It's the year. Like, there's a reason why all these like esoteric practices and occult studies have like come to light. You know what I mean? And like within the last decade or so, the Jewish community made it okay to like practice Kabbalah and like all these different things that used to be like stringently guarded against are now like kind of coming out, just like UFO disclosure. And it's just like it's just a it's just we're going to be inundated with information for the next like 20 years or so. But I feel like throughout that inundation of information, like we'll just be we'll for one know that like there's more to it than just like humans trying to figure shit out. It's like there's like we've got things like trying to steer the boat, so to speak, or at least the currents are being directed in certain areas. And like this UFO disclosure thing, dude, I feel like they've gotten permission. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the reason why they're coming out with it. Not because there's something coming or probably like I feel like they've already been here and they've just gotten permission to talk about it.
Very well could be.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I'll let you guys mull over some thoughts and whatnot and I'll get off of here because I know there's probably another caller in the works. But yeah. Also I always say it every time I'm on, but if you ever get to talk to Jerry Marzinski, that guy's a like, I don't know, that guy's a pretty interesting dude to talk to as well. I think it's like important information to tell people, especially, you know, anybody who's dealing with like schizophrenia or like negative thoughts or depression. They need to listen to Mr. Jerry Marzinski and and get a second opinion, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll have to check it out for
for
sure.
sure. Guys.
I
For sure.
don't haven't listened to much Sean Ryan, honestly, but I know Kyle sends me a lot, and I'm gonna have to check it out because usually
It's
if
good.
Kyle's into it, it's up my alley.
It's good.
Yeah, that guy's a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and he can suspend his disbelief long enough for you to actually make him believe in something. So people are so skeptical right off the bat that if you don't pique their interest within the first 5 words that you say, they just write you off nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he is not that type of person. And that's a good influence to have in the world, because, you know, like I said, it's just people these days.
Well, I agree.
But yeah, like I said, I'll get off of you guys. It's always good talking to you guys.
Likewise, man. Thank you so
Yeah,
much
you
for
as
calling
well.
in. We appreciate it.
For sure.
Stay
All right,
safe
much
out
love,
there.
man.
See you guys.
Later. Interesting.
I'll have to start listening to that. I guess both of those Sean Ryan episodes.
Yeah,
I
I'm
didn't
gonna
realize
check out
his
the other one.
His interviews run so long. People
Yeah.
are saying there's 6 hours. Like that's a
Yeah, I think the Billy Carson one is over 2.
those are some long ones.
Yeah.
Some long ones.
Yep, I'll start mine tomorrow, most likely, on the 6-hour one.
Yeah, I'll have to listen to it on my
Especially if it's
drive
that
in
good.
and check it out. Oh, everybody was talking about killer clowns from outer space. So yeah. But that being said, it's getting late. It's getting close to 10 o'clock. Probably have to wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Again, there was quite a few. I saw 90 in here at one point. We're steady
good.
on that hundo mark. But yeah, chat was awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. It was good to see everyone in here. Good to see some new faces, some old friends. It's been a good time. Calls were all heaters. But yeah. Everybody be sure to check us out on Mondays for the regular show. Tuesdays is the night shift recap. Come hang out with us here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Time. And then Thursdays, our listener experience episodes drop. Again, thank you all for the support and hanging out with us. We appreciate it. We cannot say it enough. And until we meet again, stay safe, stay weird, and be thankful that it's not the 1800s where you got to deal with syphilis all the time.